The Indiana Fever fans were chanting, "Sophie, Sophie."
Watch when Caitlyn Clark is trying to create some space. It looked like she just got hit in the eye there.
Ooh, and Marina Mabry, I missed that one, Idona.
That's a flagrant foul. It's a hard foul.
Building going coast to coast. And here's we got another.
Sophie Cunningham just pulled off the greatest heist in sports history. No bank was robbed, no vault was cracked. But in 46 seconds of pure violence, she went from making $100,000 a year to potentially earning millions. And before I tell you exactly how she did it, hit that subscribe button because what you're about to learn might just change how you see professional sports forever. Picture this: June 17th, 2025. The Indiana Fever are crushing the Connecticut Sun. The game's basically over. Most players are already thinking about their post-game plans. But Sophie Cunningham, she's thinking about her bank account. And what happens next is going to blow your mind. See, while everyone else was playing basketball, Sophie was playing chess. And she was about to make a move so brilliant, so calculated, that within 48 hours she'd gain nearly 1 million followers, sell out jerseys nationwide, and have companies begging to throw money at her. But here's the crazy part. She did it all by throwing someone to the ground. Let me paint you a picture of what the WNBA looked like before Sophie's master plan. For 2 straight seasons, Caitlyn Clark had been getting absolutely demolished. We're talking eye pokes, body checks, flagrant fouls that would make UFC fighters jealous. And the refs? They treated it like a tea party. Common foul here, little warning there. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's taking more hits than a crash test dummy. The league didn't care. Her own teammates seemed scared to step up. And other players, they were too busy being jealous of the attention she was getting. Kennedy Carter hip-checking her into next week, Dana Carrington celebrating cheap shots on social media, Angel Reese pretending like Caitlyn wasn't single-handedly saving their sport. It was like watching someone get mugged while everyone just films it for TikTok. But Sophie Cunningham saw something everyone else missed. She didn't see a rookie getting beat up. She saw a golden ticket, a lottery ticket worth millions, and all she had to do was cash it in. Now, let me tell you something about Sophie that'll make your jaw drop. This isn't some basketball player who stumbled into violence. This woman earned her black belt in Taekwondo when she was 6 years old. 6! While you were learning to tie your shoes, she was learning to drop bodies. Growing up on a farm in Missouri with her sister Lindsay, they didn't play house. They had full-on Fight Club sessions that would make their parents call 911. When her high school football team needed a kicker, Sophie strapped on the pads. When Missouri needed someone to shut down the other team's best player, Sophie turned into a defensive nightmare. This wasn't just an athlete. This was a warrior disguised in basketball shorts. Fast forward to the 2025 season. Sophie gets traded from Phoenix to Indiana in a massive 4-team deal. Everyone thought it was just another veteran addition. The Fever need experience, Sophie needs minutes, boring trade, moving on. But Sophie, she's looking at Caitlyn Clark like a stockbroker looks at Apple in 1997. Pure profit potential. While other veterans were writing bitter tweets about Caitlyn getting too much attention, Sophie was doing something revolutionary. She was actually supporting her. In interviews, she didn't give those fake compliments that sound like insults. She genuinely celebrated what Caitlyn brought to the league. She was playing the long game, and nobody even realized the game had started. Which brings us back to that Tuesday night in June. Earlier in the game, Dana Carrington had given Caitlyn the old Three Stooges special, a nice poke right in the eyeball. Not accidentally, not as part of a basketball play, but a straight-up eye gouge that would make Captain Insano proud. The ref's response? Common foul. Might as well have given her a high five. Then Marina Mabry decided to pile on, body-checking Caitlyn to the ground like she was trying out for the NFL. Another technical foul. Another slap on the wrist. Another night of Caitlyn Clark being everybody's punching bag, while the league counted their money and looked the other way. The Fever were up big, 46 seconds left. Game over. Time to coast to the finish line. Right? Wrong. Because Sophie Cunningham didn't see 46 seconds of garbage time. She saw 46 seconds to change her life forever. As Dana Carrington drove to the basket, Sophie made her move. And when I say made her move, I mean she turned into the Incredible Hulk. She didn't just foul Carrington, she grabbed her midair and threw her to the ground like a bag of dirty laundry. But wait, it gets better! When Carrington got up trying to act tough, Sophie pulled her by the hair and sent her flying into the courtside fans. Someone's nachos definitely got ruined that night. The arena went absolutely insane. 15,000 fans started chanting, "Sophie, Sophie, Sophie," like she'd just hit a game-winning shot in the finals. After months of watching their superstar get abused with zero protection, someone finally said enough is enough. Someone finally fought back, and that someone was about to become very, very rich. Sophie got ejected. Obviously, so did a couple players from Connecticut. The league handed out $400 fines like they were parking tickets. $400. Sophie probably spent more than that on her breakfast that morning. But what happened next? That's where this story goes from interesting to absolutely bonkers. 24 hours. That's all it took. In 24 hours, Sophie Cunningham went from "who's that?" to "oh my god, did you see what she did?" 700,000 new TikTok followers in 2 days, 244,000 new Instagram followers. Her total following went from under 500,000 to over 1.7 million faster than you can say, ka-ching. Let me put that in perspective for you. There are WNBA All-Stars who've been playing for a decade who don't have half that following. MVP candidates who would sell their soul for those numbers. But Sophie, she gained more followers in 48 hours than most players gain in their entire careers. And you know what followers mean in 2025? Money. Lots and lots of money. Before the incident, yeah, it's got capital letters now, Sophie was charging around $10,000 for sponsored posts. Good money for a role player, solid side hustle. But after gaining nearly 1 million followers, industry experts say she can now command $30,000 per post. Maybe more. One Instagram post, 30 grand. That's almost a third of her entire WNBA salary for posting a picture with some hashtags. But here's the genius part. Sophie didn't just gain any followers, she gained Caitlyn Clark's followers. And Caitlyn Clark fans aren't just numerous, they're rabid, they're loyal, and most importantly, they've got credit cards and they're not afraid to use them. Sophie's Indiana Fever jersey sold out nationwide within hours, gone. Vanished. The manufacturer literally cannot keep up with demand. We've got max contract players whose jerseys are collecting dust in warehouses, but Sophie Cunningham, a role player making 6 figures, broke the internet with jersey sales. Her phone started blowing up like she'd just won the lottery, which, technically, she had. Adidas wanted to talk new deals. Quest Nutrition wanted to triple her rate. Companies she'd never heard of were sliding into her DMs with offers that would make your head spin. Her agent called it unprecedented growth, which is agent speak for holy shit, we're about to get paid. But wait, there's more. Because Sophie didn't just stumble into this moment like some lucky amateur. This was calculated. This was chess, not checkers. From the moment she got traded to Indiana, she understood the assignment. While other players were complaining about Caitlyn getting too much attention, Sophie was literally taking notes on how to profit from it. You see, in Phoenix, Sophie wasn't just playing basketball, she was moonlighting as a TV analyst for the Suns. She understood media, she understood branding, she understood that in modern sports, your value isn't just about what you do on the court, it's about the story you tell, the moments you create, the clips that go viral. Think about it. That black belt training wasn't just about self-defense. It was about having the confidence to stand up when it matters. Those bloody fights with her sister, preparation for being comfortable with confrontation, kicking field goals in high school, practice for stepping into unexpected roles. Sophie Cunningham had been preparing for this moment her entire life. She just needed the right stage. And Caitlyn Clark? She was the perfect co-star, the golden goose that everyone else was too stupid or too jealous to protect. While Kennedy Carter was hip-checking her and Angel Reese was subtweeting her, Sophie was positioning herself as the one person willing to have Caitlyn's back. Not because she's some noble warrior, because she understood that protecting the meal ticket protects your meals. The financial implications are staggering. Open Sponsorship, a platform that connects athletes with brands, estimates that Sophie's social media value increased by over $1 million from this one incident. $1 million from one flagrant foul, from 46 seconds of calculated violence. That's not just unprecedented in the WNBA, that's unprecedented in sports, period. But here's what really makes this genius. Sophie's an unrestricted free agent after this season. She just turned herself from a decent veteran role player into the most wanted free agent enforcer in basketball. Every team is going to look at what happened in Indiana and think, we need our own Sophie Cunningham. Someone who can hit threes, play solid defense, and oh yeah, create viral moments that sell jerseys and drive ticket sales. Her next contract? It's going to be hilarious. Teams aren't just evaluating her three-point percentage anymore. They're calculating her social media impact, her merchandise potential, her ability to create moments that transcend basketball. In the modern WNBA, that's worth more than any stat line. For Caitlyn, this moment was probably worth more than any assist or game winner. Finally, after 2 seasons of taking abuse, someone had her back. Reports say Caitlyn even paid Sophie's $400 fine, a small gesture, but think about the message it sends. It's not just about one player making a statement, it's about teammates having each other's backs. The kind of chemistry that sells tickets and wins championships. The psychological warfare aspect is beautiful too. For over a year, teams knew they could rough up Caitlyn without consequences. They could poke her eyes, shove her down, turn her into a human pinball machine, and the worst they'd face was a common foul. Sophie changed that entire equation. Now they have to think twice. Is messing with Caitlyn worth potentially eating courtside popcorn? Is that cheap shot worth getting your hair pulled on national television? Sophie brought hockey enforcer energy to the WNBA. She made it clear that if you touch the superstar, you're going to pay for it. Not with some weak pushing and shoving, but with the kind of retaliation that becomes a meme before you even get back to the locker room. The Indiana Fever just became must-see television. They already had the most watched games because of Caitlyn. Now they have drama, they have storylines, they have Batman and Robin in basketball shorts. That's not just a team, that's a Netflix series waiting to happen. For the WNBA itself, this is both a goldmine and a headache. The goldmine is obvious. Drama sells. Sophie generated more buzz in 46 seconds than most playoff games generate in 48 minutes. The headache? They can't exactly put out a press release saying, "We love when our players throw each other into the crowd." It's a delicate balance between maintaining professional standards and acknowledging what actually puts butts in seats. What's hilarious is how this plays into the larger narrative around women's sports. For years, critics said the WNBA was too soft, not physical enough, lacking the edge that makes people tune in. Sophie Cunningham just delivered a one-woman response that said, "Soft? Hold my black belt." The social media reaction was pure gold. Sophie went from anonymous role player to the second most talked about player in the league overnight. Clips of her takedown were everywhere. Memes were born. Fan accounts sprouted like mushrooms after rain. She became a folk hero faster than you can say flagrant 2. Sports fans who had never watched a WNBA game were suddenly interested. Who is this Sophie Cunningham? Why did she turn into John Wick? Where can I buy her jersey? The incident transcended basketball and became a cultural moment, the kind of thing that creates new fans and prints money. The opportunities just keep multiplying. Speaking engagements, podcast appearances, maybe her own show. Keeping Up with Cunningham has a nice ring to it. Sophie went from role player to personality, from bench warmer to brand, from 100,000 to potential millions. All from one perfectly timed, perfectly executed moment of controlled violence. At 28 years old, Sophie's in her prime, old enough to be the veteran enforcer, young enough to have years of earning potential ahead. This incident didn't just make her money now, it set her up for life. She'll be known as Caitlyn's Enforcer forever. That's a brand that'll pay dividends long after her knees give out. But here's the beautiful irony. Sophie created a template that everyone else is now desperate to copy. Support Caitlyn, protect Caitlyn, go viral defending Caitlyn, profit. It's a simple formula that somehow took 2 full years for someone to figure out. The only question now is who's next. Which player will realize that being Team Caitlyn pays better than being Team Hater? Because make no mistake, the math is simple. Industry insiders are projecting Sophie's total earnings from this one incident could exceed $2 million when you factor in endorsements, increased salary potential, and long-term brand value. $2 million from 46 seconds, from having her teammates back. If that doesn't change how players think about their relationship with Caitlyn Clark, they're worse at math than I thought. Sophie Cunningham didn't just change her own fortune, she changed the game. She proved that in the age of social media and viral moments, one flagrant foul can be worth more than 1,000 made baskets. She showed that being a great teammate pays better than being a great player. She demonstrated that sometimes the best offense is throwing someone into the expensive seats. The enforcer era in the WNBA has officially begun. Sophie Cunningham isn't just Caitlyn Clark's bodyguard, she's a pioneer, a trailblazer, and most importantly, a future millionaire who got there by understanding one simple truth. In modern sports, moments matter more than minutes. What do you think? Was Sophie's takedown the smartest business move in history? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of how violence became millions, hit that subscribe button because we're covering all the wildest WNBA stories as they happen. Trust me, with Sophie Cunningham setting the precedent, things are about to get very interesting.